In this video, we'll be taking a look at converting decimals to fractions. Yeah, I know. But they're in decimals, we can just throw them in the calculator. Yeah, I get that part. Sometimes decimals are good to work with. Other times, not so much. I'm thinking of slope in a point slope form or a slope intercept form for a line. Thank you, child. You are loved. My dog just came up and shook her head at me. What? You don't like decimals? Well, too bad. All right, here we go. See if we can make this work here. I'm going to pull this down just slightly to give everybody a little more room. Starting with 0.35. Step 1, numerator is the decimal without any leading zeros. So we're just going to simply take 35, and that's our numerator. The denominator is the furthest right placeholder value. Now, I typed this, and I'm like, okay, what's the easiest way to write this? The furthest right placeholder value is 1/100th. So I'm sure that somebody in the comments is going to be like, oh, but if you divide by 1/100th, that's like multiplying by 100. And then we go, yeah, I get that part. So it's whatever the denominator of the placeholder would be. It was just really, there's too many denominators happening there. So anyway, it's 1/100th. 1/100th. Now just simplify that. That's all. So we can divide both by 5. Start there, and then we get 7/20. And 7 is prime and not a factor of 20, so we're done. So that's the answer for that one. Then we can come over here to 48, and so I just start. The numerator is the decimal without any leading zeros. Okay, well, I'm going to give myself a little bit of room because we're going to have to reduce this quite a bit. So 48, no leading zeros. That's it. But now I have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So this is going to be over 10,000. Now, I suppose if you were to divide by 16, then life would be good, but I can't hold that much crap in my head, so I'm just going to go ahead and divide by 4 top and bottom. If I divide 100 by 4, I get 25, add the 2 zeros. So this is going to give me over 2,500, and this is going to give me 12. So now I have to go ahead and multiply or divide that through by 4. I divide that through by 4. I'm doing this a little bit weirdly, but I can do squares. So 2,500, I'm thinking of it as 25 times 100, and I know that if I divide by 4, I can do that at any point. So I'm going to divide the 100 by 4, and I'm going to get 25 times 25. I know that to be 625. It's just, I've been around enough. I'm old. So this is going to be 3 over 625. Now, if I add these together, the 6 to the 2 and the 5, I end up with 13. It is not divisible by 3, so I'm done. That's just a little trick if you haven't heard about it. I have a video on that, I'm sure. All right, over here, we're going to start. Now, I'm going to concentrate on the decimal place. This is a mixed number, but I'm sure that somebody somewhere is going to have you convert a decimal into a mixed number, if you can. So we take the 1, we kind of set it off to the side because that's our whole number. And then we concentrate on the 362. So 362, and then I have tens, hundreds, thousandths. So this is going to be 1,000. This is, I can divide this by 2, top and bottom. This is going to give me 181 over 500. And now this is only divisible by 2's and 5's, and 2's and 5's don't, in fact, divide 181, so we're kind of done. Now we just bring down our 1, so our final answer for this particular one is going to be 1 and 181/500. Seems like a really odd thing to have to do, but certain types of stuff work better with decimals or fractions. If you are talking about percentages, typically they'll still say like 6 1/8%, that sort of thing, or falls 1/8 of a percent. If you are talking about money, you want decimals. So you kind of want to be able to go back and forth. If you're in construction, you're probably talking about fractions. If you're in manufacturing or fabrication of metal, you're probably in decimals. It's the same thing, it's just different materials. But, I mean, So, anyway, there's kind of a 1, 2, 3 sort of way to figure it out. Glad I could make this for you.